evening. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for joining our program today. So, my name is Dr. Shiromani. I'm from Kuwait and I studied medicine from Manipal University. So, before we start our session today, I'll chant some prayers invoking the blessings of the Supreme Lord and our spiritual masters. Om Gyan Nirandasya Gyanam Janashalakya Chachudamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sadhujatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhantatamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Manchakalpa Dhruvyascha Kripa Sindhubhe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swami Namane Namachaya Padaya Nitai Kripa Padayane Gaurakatamudaya Nakratamudaya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swami Namane Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishaya, Bhutale Shrimati Sudhya Sikanamani, Gurudeva Divya Bhasha Sichiti Prabhupada Lakshana Namaste. Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishaya, Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, feel free to switch on your videos if you would like. I don't know, I think, I don't know what is the setting. Ayushi, they have the facility to switch on their videos?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you all would like to switch on your videos, you are free to.
Yeah. Ma'am, actually, you can, if you can mute the screen sharing device, Bhagavad-gita device. So there is some echo from your side.
Now is it still echoing?
No, ma'am, I think it's better.
All right. So, so this is fundamentals of Bhagavad-gita for youth, all of your girls. And before I actually start speaking about the fundamentals, the first fundamental point that I wanted to bring out was here you can see Krishna speaking to Arjuna. Arjuna is on the chariot. He's the one on the left. And you can see that Arjuna, he's not an old man. He's not sitting and having nothing better to do. And he's just got white hair. Because usually people have this notion in India that Bhagavad Gita is for old people when they have nothing better to do. But in reality, that's not what it was. Arjuna was a young man. He had goals in his life. He had things to do. He had very important things to do. He was going to be fighting one of the most important and biggest wars in the history of the world. It is said that in this battlefield, when the war took place, there were 64 crore soldiers. So 64 crore. So that's a large amount. And still before that, before fighting the war, he stops to hear the Bhagavad-gita. So does it look like he had nothing better to do? No, he was going to fight a war. And still he stopped to hear the Bhagavad-gita. So that's why we wanted to present Bhagavad-gita, and we specifically said for youth, because it is for the young. Of course, the old can also take advantage of it. We should not have the notion that it is for retired people. Okay. So this is a question for you all. What is everyone searching for? I'll give you a few seconds. You can write whatever you want. You can write it in the chat if you like. I mean, either privately to me or in the chat. It's just a general question. What is everyone searching for? So let me see some answers that can be coming. Yes, I will wait for some time before I read out all the answers. One person has written one answer. Feel free. See, this is only all of us, all girls here. We're just, there's no right or wrong answers. Whatever you're looking for is what you're looking for. How can the answer be wrong? Okay, so we got one answer, happiness, one answer, peace. Yes. Happiness. Yes. So for their own comfort zone, I'm trying to. Yes, God. Then everyone's looking for their own comfort zone. Happiness, peace, good health. Yes, correct. Especially now with the COVID, we are more conscious of good health. Okay, so these are some answers, and I think it makes sense to say generally everyone is looking for happiness and peace. No, even good health is so that we can continue being peaceful and happy. So here, everyone is trying to find happiness by various means. So you can see when there's a baby and he actually has a yellow colored balloon next to him. So when he's a baby, he gets happiness with the balloon. Sometimes you think that you want to give babies some sophisticated educational toys, and then you have that toy and you have a very bright balloon. The baby just wants that 10, 12 rupee balloon. So that's what makes the baby happy. And then, but as the child grows, his happiness changes. He cannot be happy with just a balloon. Here you can see the boy, he's older, now he wants to play soccer. And then as one goes through different stages, what gives them happiness changes, right? So you have a person who is getting married, entering into relationships, or earning money, or being a grandfather. And these are the different things that give us happiness. These are just to show what are the different things where we look for happiness. The latest fashion, and fashion keeps changing because we get bored of one sort of fashion. So then we have to look for the next thing. Relationships, this I think many of us can relate to. Friendship, just for the sake of happiness. Sports, movies, parties. I'm sure you can name so many more things where you all are trying to find happiness. So now this is, before I go on to this slide, I will explain about this. So we assume, now if I were to ask you all, how much happiness are you looking for? Is it this much or is it this much? No, we're looking for this much happiness, unlimited happiness. But so far, all these things that you would have seen, you can actually notice that each of these things gives us happiness, for some time, and it's kind of a limited happiness. Okay, fashion, like I said, you get bored with something. Then relationships, okay, there are some ups and downs sometimes in relationships. So we don't always end up getting the unlimited happiness that we may be thinking we'll get. Friendships, you know how many ups and downs go on in friendships also, especially among, in college and among the youth. And yeah, here also we saw, it's just going back to see the different slides. So this is one thing that we should, that we can see, that there is, happiness is there, but that happiness is limited. You know, we cannot get that unlimited happiness, and we cannot get happiness all the time by enjoying here. And mainly, our main happiness is directed towards these four things. How can we improve our eating in general, our sleeping, our mating, our defending? So eating, we're always looking for the best restaurants. I know when we were in the hostel, we would always be waiting to see, which restaurant may have opened, where we can go to eat better food. But also with eating, there's a limit, right? Like you like, let's say somebody likes ice creams. So how many ice creams can one eat? After some point, it's like, okay, that's it. I can't eat any more ice cream. But we still try to see how to improve our eating. Sleeping, then mating, defending. So generally these four things. Sleeping also. We would like to sleep and sleep sometimes. Yesterday or day before, we went to see a newborn baby who was sleeping. And newborn babies have to sleep only. So that time when I saw the baby, I was thinking, yeah, these are your days. You sleep now. Later, you will not get these days back, right? So even though we want to sleep, we have to get up, we have to go to college, we have to go to work, we have to do other things that we want to do. We can't sleep like the polar bear. We can sleep 6 months. Mating, defending. So we are generally trying to see how to do all these things better. I remember once when I was telling one student that there is limited happiness, and there's sometimes so much distress or anxiety that comes in. And I said, for example, exams. You know, generally everybody can relate to the fact that exams bring some distress. But that girl was saying that, no, I like exams because it gives me a chance to test my knowledge. So I think that is the only student I ever met who didn't have any problem with exams, that were MBBS exams. So, but of course, there are other things that don't always give us, happiness. There is, especially now that we've gone through COVID. So now the question comes. Sorry, 1 second.
Ma'am, I think you're muting.
Sorry. So the next basic question that comes up is, what is the difference between animals and humans? I know it sounds like, what kind of question is that? How can you ask also such a question? But let us just see a little bit before we. Animals also find happiness in eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Here you can see the elephant is enjoying eating, and elephant can eat a lot. Sleeping, the polar bear, mating, defending. So similar, like how we said about humans and about animals. So this is common in both humans and animals, right? But like I said, for us, we may think that how can you say that it is the same? We are Sleeping, we are eating, like nice food and a plate and with a fork and a spoon and cooked food, whereas animals are just eating from sometimes even from the garbage. Then sleeping, we are sleeping in sophisticated bungalows on a bed with, a proper mattress. Animals can sleep even in the railway platform. And then mating, we're in the houses, they're just on the street defending. They just bark, like the dogs, they just bark for defending. We have very sophisticated defense mechanisms, like all these, whatever we have, missiles and, so and to defend our own family, so many things. So it's how can we say that we are the same? But the quality is the same, right? That is the point we're making, that it may be done in different ways, but the quality of it is the same. So are human beings just sophisticated animals, like super deluxe animals, because they have most of their activities are the same? Then somebody can say that man has intelligence. Animals don't have intelligence. But you think about it, is it true that animals don't have intelligence? Supposing you have someone has a pet cat at home and there is some milk in the kitchen, the cat, without making any sound, goes to the kitchen and drinks the milk. It doesn't say meow also because it will get caught. So the cat has some intelligence. If a dog is coming and you take a stick or a stone and you hut to the dog goes away. How is it doing that? It has some intelligence. If you clap your hands, the birds all fly away from the tree. So the birds also have intelligence. So is it correct that the animals don't have intelligence? Yes, they do have intelligence. Not only do they have intelligence, in many cases, animals seem to be better than us. So this is just an activity to think. These are 6 different animals that are shown here, and you can, think about what do you think is special about each species here. Maybe you can put it in the chat. So you have the eagle first. So what do you think is special about the eagle? Let's see if we get some answers. Chat. Oh, the sound. I think y'all can hear me now. I have got muted in between. Okay, I'll wait for some answers in the chat. You can write about any of these animals. What do you think is special? Eagles fly very high. Yes, that's a good answer. Focus. Yes, they can see very, very far, distant vision. In fact, during Lord Ramachandra's time, having clear vision, when there was an eagle called Sampati or vulture, he was able to see Sita in Lanka. How far his vision was during Lord Ram's time. Vision, yes, that's correct. So we don't have that kind of vision. In fact, the eagle is better than us in this aspect, in terms of vision. Okay, what is the next animal? Let's take, yes, target, focus, yes. Yeah, I think everyone is able to relate to the fact that we are not able to be so focused. We wish we were as focused as the eagle, huh? Especially maybe when it comes to studies or concentrating on something. Okay, horse. What about the horse? What do you think is special about the horse? Let's see. Any answers? Energetic. Okay. Yes. Yes, it runs very fast. Yes. Can we even compete running with a horse? Impossible, right? Okay, next, running. Yes. Okay, what's the next animal? Elephant. We can already get a clue about elephant. What's special about the elephant? It is strong. Yeah, it's very strong. It can eat a lot. Correct. Sometimes to describe the strength of somebody, they describe it to an elephant. This person is as strong as 10,000 elephants. Calm. Okay. Yes. Strong animal. Yes. Okay. Eats a lot. Definitely. Much more than humans can eat. Okay, next is the cuckoo. I think that is quite obvious that calm and strong in eating. Yes, that's for the elephant. What about the cuckoo? I think that's very obvious. The name itself is kind of giving it away, that it sings very beautifully. Okay, next is the polar bear. I think that is, yes, singing. Polar bear. Sleeping. Everyone knows sleeping. And dog. Laziness for the polar bear. Okay. Yeah, we can't be as lazy as a polar bear. We can't sleep 6 months. And the dog lives in an ice. He lives in the ice. Yes, lives in very cold climates. Polar bear. Yes. What about the dog? Brave. Brave. Yes. Alertness. Faithful. Yes. Yes. Correct. So, like sometimes we say, no, that even humans are not as faithful as dogs. So, one thing that we can see here is that even animals sometimes are better than humans in many of the things. So, in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, in Sanskrit, in the Bhagavad-gita, it is written, eating ahar, sleeping nidra, mating maithuna, and defending bhay. Ahar, nidra, bhay, maithuna. These are the 4 activities which is mentioned in the Bhagavad-gita. So animals, so we can see animals have intelligence. Animals in some situations are even better. Ayushi, can you mute everybody except me?
Mahataji, you can mute because you're the host.
Yeah, but didn't I make you the co-host? Ayushi? All right. So this is what human beings have. They have advanced technology. That definitely we can say. We don't see animals sitting with laptops and the latest mobile phones and smart watches and washing machines and because they don't have clothes. So this is one difference that we can see. This whole idea of this whole program, I mean, this today is now what we're reading, is just to bring about that humans have something special which animals don't have. And that is what is mentioned in the Bhagavad-gita. So as we're going to read that. So that's why we're talking about these things. It may look like something very elementary, but we never even thought about it. You know, animals and humans, are we just sophisticated animals? What makes us different from animals? So the next thing is a very important question. Despite all this advancement, are the humans happy today? So this is a question we need to really ask ourselves. Are we happy today? We have latest so many things, huh? Like Martin Luther King said, we have guided missiles and misguided men. Why is it that, for example, people die to get into IIT? No. Okay, the answer is very clear, no. So why is it that people die to get into IIT, but after getting into IIT, why do people die? Why do people die? Means I'm not saying everybody dies, but even in IIT, they have suicides. But IIT is considered the most prestigious university for engineering, and everybody, you know, you ask any 8th standard kid also, or now maybe even 5th standard, I don't know. I mean, the moment they start coaching classes and it's just drilled in their head, I have to clear IIT. That's it. Finally, happens or not happens, but the goal, everyone's goal is IIT for engineering. Generally, it's like that. Or, okay, go to America, go to London, go to the best universities. But after then, why do we hear of suicides? Why is it that the number of suicides, let's only talking about suicides because there's so many other criminal acts. Why is it that the number of suicides is increasing day after day, even among the youth in colleges? In our college also, while we were studying itself, 2-3 suicides were there in the 5 years that we spent as during medicine. So this is definitely something to think. So we have all the latest gadgets. And now sometimes, you know, you can see in a room, in a family, over dinner, you have maybe let's say 4 or 5 members, if they are fortunate enough to sit together for dinner at the same time, and each one is in their gadget. So you're sitting with everyone, but you have your own friends. Yeah, so is that bringing loneliness, or is that bringing more happiness? So this is something to ask ourselves. So we are saying humans are better because they can have technological advancement, but this technological advancement hasn't made us more happy. So I think there is, at least we got one answer from Larry Kura saying that no. So thank you for that answer. Definitely it has not made us happy. And like I was saying, that even if someone thinks they're happy, what is the limit of that happiness? How much happiness can you get? Like there's only this much happiness that you can get from a particular activity. Okay, exam khatam ho gaye, khushi ho gayi. Okay, but next year again, then again exams are going to come. So it's like short-lived. No, again you have to start thinking, oh, again you have to sit down and study. Okay, college is over. Like when we were kids, we used to think, oh, when will I finish 12th standard? After finish 12th standard, then mommy will say, okay, or papa, everybody will say, just this much more, just finish college, just get a very good grade, 12th standard, you get this much above 95, and you get into a good medical college, good engineering college, whatever you want to do. That's it, life one day. Then college finished. Okay, just do one PG, just do one PhD, just do this, then life ban jayegi. Then you did that. Okay, bas shaadi kar lo. शादी हो गई, ठीक है, बस इतने बच्चे पैदा करो. Okay, बच्चे हो गए, बच्चे को बस अमेरिका भेज दो. That's it. Nothing else. So where does it end? We are constantly looking for that happiness because we haven't gotten it in spite of all this. And I forgot to put that picture. It just came to my mind. There's a picture of a man who's sitting on a donkey. When I find that image, I'll show you in the next class. And there's a stick that the man is holding while sitting on the donkey. And at the end of the stick, there's a carrot that is dangling. So the donkey keeps thinking, in the next step, I'm going to get the carrot. And of course, the man is sitting on the donkey and holding the carrot. So there's no way that the donkey is ever going to get the carrot. But he keeps thinking, next minute, no? So for us, it's like, okay, now we got this, that's it. Now vaccinations are there, that's it, end of COVID. And then we read, even those who are vaccinated are getting COVID. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just saying that there's always something, something is there. COVID caused such a fear, there's everyone, it shook the whole world. And then we were thinking, okay, when vaccines come, then finish, then that's it, then, we are free. Of course, relatively now in India, things do seem to be better, let's see, but we also know that vaccinations have had some side effects. And so there's always, it's like, okay, now. So in spite of all this technological advancement, even though we can enjoy ahar, nidra, bhay, maithuna better, but what about inner satisfaction? Why do we still have dissatisfaction? Why do we have anxiety? Why do we have stress, depressed? Why are we unhappy? Sometimes we can relate to these different pictures that you can see down. Sometimes they're like, you can relate to it sometimes. Like, oh, enough. So, in the Bhagavad-gita, there are different chapters in the Bhagavad-gita. So in chapter 6 of the Bhagavad-gita, there's Arjuna is speaking because Bhagavad-gita is actually a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. We will come across later more in detail who are they and all that. But Arjuna at one point, he tells Krishna, Manahi chanchala Krishna, my mind is chanchala. Yes, it's so restless. So sometimes we can relate to that. Yes, restless. He's saying that. Arjuna is, in fact, he tells Krishna that I find it easier to control the wind than to control my mind. Arjuna is not like ordinary like us in the sense that, of course, he was there 5,000 years ago. He's very closely related to Krishna. He's a little bit on, like on a higher platform than us, and he's still speaking that I can't control my mind. I can control the wind, but not my mind. And because of that uncontrolled mind, we have all these things. So that's why it's about inner happiness. Externally, I don't know whether these gadgets are helping us to control our mind or making it worse. You must have noticed, always the fingers are fidgeting. I need to move something. I need to move something. In between, they came up with these gadgets called fidget spinners. I don't know whether it was here. Generally, the children would be keep doing that. I thought that was like to replace the gadgets because their fingers. I mean, that's just how it has been with everybody. Always we need to be doing something. But what about the inner? What about the mind? We are able to, man is good for controlling things. Man has controlled the forest. He's controlled the elephant. We've managed to bring elephants to the circus and make the elephant, stand on a small stool and make him do whatever we want. We've controlled lions and tigers by putting them in cages in the zoo. We went once to the zoo in Malaysia, and what they did there was they didn't put the tiger and lions, they were not in cages. They were actually roaming around, but they had a, where the tiger was or the lion was, in front of that there was grass, but under the grass there was a mesh and there was water below the mesh. So the tiger or lion knew that if they try to cross, they'll get caught in the mesh. So it's just an illusion, for us. And so, but we've managed to do that also, make them think that they're in a natural environment, but we've actually trapped them. So we've controlled even these animals, but we've not been able to control our mind, right? We've not been able to control our mind. And Bhagavad-gita brings about this point. Arjuna is talking about this point to Krishna. What is the answer? Keep hearing. Okay, so yeah, so this is some of the, so animals, we don't find any suicides, no divorces, no drug abuse, no riots. So, but we know that we are superior to animals, right? We saw the things that are common in between animals and humans, but there is still some difference. We said intelligence also both have. But so what is the difference? What makes us really superior? Okay, we have technological advancement, but it has not given us what we were looking for. So this is a verse from the Mahabharata. Aha nidra bhay maitunam cha samanyam etat ashubhi naranam dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhi samanaha. Mahabharata. The activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are common in animals and human beings. The human beings are considered superior only when they inquire about the higher dimensional science involving the wisdom about God, His creation, His laws, and the secret of true inner fulfillment in life. Otherwise, they are considered just like animals. Animals cannot ask about why am I here? I'll tell you what are the few questions that what humans can ask and what animals cannot ask. Animals can only ask about how can I eat better, how can I sleep better, how to mate better, how to defend better, right? That's what they're doing. And they're figuring out, they've been given enough intelligence. But humans can inquire about life, death, beyond that. So there'll be next set of questions that only humans can ask. That is what makes a human superior to animals. So we have this special prerogative that we can ask these questions and we can make the right choices in life. Animals, they just go based on their instinct. So these are some of the questions that will be answered when we are going through these sessions where we kind of cover the fundamentals of Bhagavad-gita. Why do bad things happen to good people? Very common question. If God is one, why so many religions? Do we make destiny or destiny makes us? How to make impossible possible? How to achieve unending happiness, which is what we were discussing. Can we get whatever we want in life? Who is the supreme person? Is there life after death? Finding a true guide, secret of success. Does God exist? Who am I? And much more, of course. So you can see now that these are very relevant questions for us. And this shows the relevance of Bhagavad-gita in our lives because we get answers to these questions. So, okay. Now, since I was talking about, distress and all that, what does the Bhagavad-gita say about getting peace? So, don't worry about understanding this whole translation. Over time, you will understand it. posted this here. So this is just from chapter 5, text 29 of the Bhagavad-gita. It says, Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sudhidam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. Translation: a person in full consciousness of me, here me refers to Krishna, the speaker of the Bhagavad-gita, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material misery. So Krishna is telling us you can attain peace. So like I said, don't worry about the translation if you're not able to grasp it fully. It doesn't matter. The point I'm bringing out here is that the answer is there in the Bhagavad-gita, how to attain peace. That is what we were talking about. In the beginning, I asked, what is everyone looking for, right? So this is peace. And this is another text. This is from chapter 9, text 2. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyaksha Dhanyam Susukham Kartumabhyayam. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed. So the reason I chose this particular verse is to show that it is joyfully performed and it is everlasting. So we were talking about happiness being limited or for a short time. The happiness one gets by applying the teachings of Bhagavad-gita is everlasting and joyfully performed. Another thing that people usually have a misconception is that, okay, if I read Bhagavad-gita, then maybe I have to become a sannyasini, or I have to leave my education, I have to leave my family, I have to leave this, I have to leave that. No, you can be where you are and do what you're doing, but add the teachings in your life. That's why I'm saying how to learn to apply Bhagavad-gita in your day-to-day life. Like I said, that's why I showed the picture of Arjuna. He didn't leave his job. His work was he was a Kshatriya, he was a warrior. He didn't leave that. Krishna didn't tell him that you leave being a warrior. Arjuna had a family. He didn't leave his family to apply the teachings of Bhagavad-gita. So these are some misconceptions. So it's not like that. You can continue doing what you're doing, but it's a change of consciousness. That's what Bhagavad-gita is about. Okay. Okay, this is supposed to be, I don't think it's going to play here. I'll just play. It's a very short, it's just a 2-minute video. And the way things are, I'm not sure if the audio will work out, but the subtitles are there. Just give me a minute to play it. Because I think if I try to play the audio, it may echo. Let me try.
An interesting story.
Yeah, it is echoing. I have to mute myself. Okay. Aisha, are you the co-host or you are not? Can
Yes,
you
yes,
unmute
I'm there.
me? Okay, can you mute me on this? And after this is over, can
Sorry.
no, you have to mute me.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
You have to mute this one, Dr. Shiromani.
Yeah, I'll mute that. The one you're speaking, right? Yeah, I'll mute that.
Just mute me till the audio plays.
Okay, sure.
I mean, if it's echoing, then I'll just
Okay.
just unmute me back.
Okay.
Has been described by our Satsuru Maharaj in the Bhakti Garden.
Is it? It's coming properly. The audio is proper. So we can.
It's not, not
No, it's not
echoing.
echoing. No.
Okay, fine. Okay, you mute me, I'll play.
Yeah, muting you.
An interesting story has been described by our Satsuru Maharaj in the Bhakti Garden. The learned scholar and the boatman. The boatman in Bengal, there are many rivers. and the people generally transport by boat service. So, a learned scholar from Calcutta, say, was going home in the village on a boat, and he was very happy. So he was asking the boatman, "My dear boatman, do you know what are these stars, these astronomy, how they are working?" "No, sir, I do not." "Ah, your life is 25% lost. You do not know it." Then after some time, you know the geology, how these earth, water, they are working. He said, "No, sir, I am poor man, what can I know?" "No, you are 50% of your life. You know." Then, all of a sudden, there was a cloud, black cloud on the sky, and there was storm. Then at that time, the boatman asked, said, "Do you know how to swim?" "No, I do not know." "Then 100% you are lost. You are going to be drowned." He jumped and he drowned. So this is the one. So you are trying to understand the whole analytical study of the material world. That is very good. But
So this is just an instructive story to show that we may have knowledge of so many things, but the most essential thing is to know how to save ourselves from drowning. So it's not literally that we have to know how to swim, but we have to learn how to find happiness and peace from inside, from within. So I will stop here today for today's session. We have more sessions coming up, and of course we have kept it for this much time, keeping in mind that all of you all are either students or working or have different things to do, so we don't want to keep it too long. We will continue next Sunday, and we have many different speakers. We have Dr. Aparna Verma from San Jose, California. We have Dr. Dina Kotak from London. We have Ayushi, she's MTech from MIT. We have so many other speakers also who are applying this in their day-to-day life, and who will help all of us to understand how we can apply the Bhagavad-gita in our own life. If you all are already interested in having a copy of Bhagavad-gita with you all, and you can just WhatsApp us and we can let you know how to get one. Okay, are there any questions? If you all can raise your hand, I can either unmute you all, or you can put it in the chat, or you can WhatsApp us. Ayushi, can you put the WhatsApp number again? Because on the chat we may lose some questions. If it is there on WhatsApp, we will definitely get back to you and reply to you. We are not done after this. It's not like after this question answers. There's just we're going to just do a short kirtan. Kirtan means glorifying the Lord. So we just, because we're doing this session, we just have a little sample of just how to apply it. Bhagavad-gita is called the Song of God. So, of course, this is different from the Song of God, but we just do a 5-minute kirtan, which will definitely help you all. You can see the difference. Okay, we have a question. Should one prioritize their own needs, wants first, or others' needs as part of selfless service? This is a general question, so we will definitely need to know specifically what kind of needs it is being referred to. So it's difficult to just say that, okay, no, first take care of, for example, if you are sick and somebody else is also sick, how can you take care of somebody else when you yourself are sick? So naturally, you would have to first take care of yourself so that you can take care of somebody else. Right? So it becomes like depending on what what exact situation were you faced with where you had to make this kind of a decision? Even in the, like in the Bhagavad-gita, it's not about being selfish and saving yourself, but if you are not well, how can you help somebody else who is not well? That is the point. So that's why it depends on the situation. And each one of us has to know, there are so many factors involved. What is our limits? What is the other person's motivation when you're helping them? What is your motivation? So there's a lot of factors involved. If you want, and you WhatsApp us privately, what is the exact situation you may be talking about? I can give also a more specific answer. Okay. Okay, Kritika. Thank you. Well thought question. We'll wait to take, there are some more questions. Stop typing. Okay, so if more questions come, we will take it. So in the meantime, Ayushi, you can switch on your video, and you can do short kirtan for some time, 10 minutes. So what y'all can do, this kirtan is the mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maybe we should put it up on the screen. Anyway. So y'all can sing along, you can hear. If you feel like getting up and just dancing in your places, you're free to do that also. So they will start now. You can just listen. So this is just names of the Lord, glorifying Him. It is very auspicious, very uplifting, and it just brings happiness by chanting these names. All right. Go ahead.
Krishna Krishna Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Gaur Bhaktivedanta Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you very much. Mosami from our Mosami, you can unmute yourself. Your hand is raised.
Yes.
Do you want to ask something or say something? I cannot hear you. Right. If you all would like to give some feedback also, you can, or how, I mean, on the WhatsApp number that is there, you can do that. Same number to which, through which you all will send the Zoom ID. So we will, we're not able to hear from Swami. And Megha Gupta, you have asked a question, but we will deal with this when we come to this topic. since we haven't started this topic yet, I do not want to prematurely deal with this topic. Okay, thank you. All right, so if there's nothing else, I thank you all for coming, and we'll close here the session. Hare Krishna.